G'day, g'day, g'day. I'm Stephen Spry and welcome back to another episode of Transport Fever 2 and GWR Country. To start off today's episode, I've got some bad news. And if you were watching the last episode, you would have realised the stuff-up, as usual, that I made with this brick train. Not quite sure what's going on? Well, let's just follow it into Bordertown and have a little look at what goes on. Now, we used to drop it off, this load of bricks, up here, right, at Bordertown Freight Rail. And as you can see, most of the town is selected. Yep. But in my infinite wisdom, I decided to drop it off here instead, at Bordertown Cargo, which, as you can see, connects with SFA on this map. So, yep. So that's the bad news. The good news is I fixed it. How? Well, let's just have a little look how. By looking at the newest version of the map. What do you mean, newest version of the map? Well, it's like this. I finished playtesting. So I've redone everything that you see here onto the final GWR country map. And in the process, fixed a couple of little things that were wrong with it, or improved them. I didn't fix. There's nothing wrong with it. Nothing at all wrong with it. I just improved it. So let's have a look at now how that train line from the Conmat plant connects to Bordertown. Right. So here's our train coming into Bordertown Cargo. You'll notice there's a few minor changes here. We'll get to that in a second. But now, okay, he's going to drop off his bricks here, right? Which still doesn't connect to that. But it does now connect to here. Well, duh, it always did. And I've put an extra line in place for the cargo to come in, come along and drop it off here and head back out. So hopefully Bordertown is recovering. Yep, it is. It's getting a reasonable amount of Conmat delivered. So, whew, that was lucky. Now, you will notice there's a few changes here. So I'll get rid of the head and I'll take you over the changes that I made. And the first one is I actually, on the final map, made this road a little bit further out so that I could put a nice loop around here that matches in with the Madrid roundhouse. Lovely. Also better placement of the roads and the GWR engine shed and all the service facilities and so on here, right? We've got a couple of town buildings growing along here, and I did have a couple of the passenger coaches stabled along that track. I thought they would need their own little area out here with some sheds, so that, look, you know, a bit of a passenger workshop, coach workshop area over here, and a stabling area. Why not? That can get across to 1, 2, 3, 4 of the 1, 2, 3, 7 tracks, so that should work. And of course, just dropped a few boxcar type assets here just to start to fill it up. Good. Now, I did revamp all of this, make it work better with the existing arrangement. I killed the depot out of here, wasn't needed. As you can see, there are no canal boats moored here at the moment. That'll happen. That will happen. And these guys now don't have a road coming out of them connecting to this. I don't know why I did that. That was a bit foolish. They are just butting up with this road, now, and we do have fingers that connect that to the road, so that's all good. We've got traffic coming down there somewhere. I have fixed, right, I've fixed the routes here so that if we have a look at the emissions layer, it now comes down this one instead of down this one, so I've moved the emissions over a bit. There's still some residential in here that shouldn't be in here. Too close to the railway station, and you don't want noise from the railway station affecting the residential. In a town, so we'll get rid of these guys, encourage them to respawn. See, clear area, encourage them to respawn out here somewhere away from the main noisy area. Cool. Meanwhile, over at Hagley, things are working nicely with the brick coming from the brickworks over to here and then coming along the road to there. This seems to be backing up somewhat, so we better add a couple more vehicles. What have we got? 25. I'll add another, how many you got? Ooh, maybe another 10 vehicles to that route, I think. That will help get rid of that backlog. Do we have a backlog here? Hagley to Water. Not really. We've got canal boats coming in fairly regularly, so I might just leave that for now. Again, rebuilt this entire area here and still have the canal boats as assets to plonk back on these wharves here. But this little community working quite nicely. Haven't seen anyone coming into work yet. There's no one on this road coming into work. Oh well, there will be. Don't panic about it. What's that? That's a splodge of water in the middle of nowhere, which I think is actually a stuff up. So we'll get rid of that. Right. At the end of the last episode, I asked about this. I asked what you thought about this pile of horses and carts. In fact, 124 of them. And should I put a railway line in here? A little branch railway line that comes over and collects the stone and goes back. And one response so far. So guess what? That was a positive one. So we shall do just that. Ta-da! Hit the pause button. Yeah, I'm going to take all of this by rail today over to the brickworks. Now, as you know, the problem is the brickworks here is at 21 metres. If we were to follow the 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, yes, I think I could get away with putting a station here. So that's what I'll do. I shall put freight, please. Yeah, make sure you get the right one this time. Yeah, I'll put a freight terminus here. How long is it? 160 should be more than enough. We'll put it here along the 50 metre contour line. Right about, make it a bit higher. Okay. And now I need to put a country road here. Can you smooth it first, please? That would probably be a damn good idea. Okay. We shall smooth this area out here. Yeah, I'm going to do a freight drop off here. Simple enough. Go from there. Thank you. And now come over to there. Lovely. Smooth that off a bit better. And we can now get rid of that. Good. And put Do you want a drop-off or just a... Yeah, I think we could probably just do a drop-off. See what happens, eh? Fair enough. One freight drop-off right there. Hopefully it's going to work. Good, you hope. All right, let's work out where this rail has to go now, please. All right. 20, half of 20 to 50 is 30. That's 15 is 35, which is about here. So you're telling me that you want a track about there. Some trees in the way, aren't there? Never mind. Right. Bring it down all the way to here. Yep. We've got a thing happening here with the road, Stephen. Have we? Yeah, I'm not worried about that thing happening with the road. We'll deal with it. Right. Another building. Another freight building, please. Put it down this end so that it's level and connects to everything just like that. Righto. Now track. Winding back. Whoops. Yeah, I'll connect that up to there. Oh, that doesn't look very good, does it? Well, move it, dear Stephen. Dear Stephen. Right. And I would like to get a train from our main depot coming across. Ooh, thanks. That goes up somewhat, doesn't it? It does, doesn't it? It's a bit ridiculous. All right, well, come over here then and come out. Still goes up ridiculously. I'm going to move the road then, if that's the case, because I don't want it to be crazy, baby. You don't need to move the road. You know, all you need to do is to just smooth it. That still looks good. Right. So we've now got a connection from our network to this area. Right. Ooh, spending lots of money. Oh, don't worry about it. We've got plenty, i.e. infinite. Good, good, good. Now, you've got to get from there up to here. Well, that can't be hard. Look. 2.7%. That's fine. The big question is whether one train's going to cut it with the 400 line rate, and I don't think it will, so I'm going to instantly put in a second track. Otherwise we're not going to have enough stone down here. You know what's going to happen? Yes, I know exactly what's going to happen here. I am going to bugger up my... excuse me. I am going to wreck the line rate here with all this stone. You could make that a bit smoother, buddy. Yeah, I'm going to stuff up the stone supply for a little bit here. Hopefully it doesn't... I don't like the idea of this. Alright. Smoothage. Yep, smoothage. Right, this looks fine. It's going to work beautifully. I hope so. Okay, and plonk that there. You're going to need a signal at least on each end of it. You realise what you've done, don't you, at the other end? I know exactly what I've done at the other end. I've put the incoming track from the depot on the wrong, on the wrong piece of rail. So never mind. I'll fix that. You love these whistle posts, don't you? Yep. Well, we've got to warn the traffic, if there is any, of an approaching train. Now, what have I done wrong? I've put that onto that track. So... Oh, Stephen, you have totally... That one's right. God almighty. Well, this is what happens when you're trying to do two different maps at the same time. You lose the sense of what you're supposed to be doing. I'm supposed to be left-hand driving on this one, and the other map that I'm working on at the moment is right-hand drive. Sorry, people. All right, left-hand drive. Let's try that again. There and there, with waypoints for the whistles, just after the signals. Good. No worries, matey. Like you always say, yeah, it wouldn't be a transport fever to you. I know, if I didn't make a stuff up. So, left-hand drive, please. Right, signals. You can be there. Okay, you can be left-hand drive, which means that. Good. Which means you can stop there. Hopefully it's not going to back up over, well, it's not going to stop that often, is it? And the starter signal, well, I'll put a starter signal right there. Okay. Put a new line in. Right, new line from 11 there. Gonna wait till full. Forever. And we're going to be white, and we're going to come to, let's call it Hagley Quarry, and we're going to come down to here, which is Hagley Conmat. Right, I'm going to order a train for that. So, let me just refresh my memory. Line 1, okay. Hagley Stone to Conmat by train. Yes, manage the line. Wait, good, okay. So, I need a new locomotive for that, please. Right, well, onto our new Madrid depot. By a steam train, and it'll be the little goods, Armstrong goods, right? And cargo will be okay. We'll lose that. Fine stone. British open wagons. All right. What have we got? Coal hopper. No, I'm not going to use them. I'll just use them for coals. Gondolas. GWR 3 planks. How much do you take? 4. Were built by the General rounded heads. These were later cut down. All right. Look. What year is this? 1880. I think we'll stick with 3 plank. Stick with the 3 plank for starters, please. Okay. Alright. How many? Oh. You've got 147. Yep. And then you need to put the Toad, T-O-A-D, brake van on that. Okay, is that it? I hope so. Alright. Hagley Stone to Conmat. Good. No errors, so that's going to come out. Now, what I failed to do was to actually load a mod that I need for these trains to work properly on these lines. And when I say properly, I mean without flip-flopping. So I'm going to save the game at this point. So that's the redo. So save it. So far we've got our brick trains that have got a loop at each end so that there's no flip-flopping with them. But in this case it's just point to point. So what I want to do is actually load the game with the Train Shunter mod, because this enables us to just do push-pull type stuff. So while I'm here, I will let you have, oh God, get rid of all of that. I'll let you have a quick look through all the mods that I'm currently using. And we're up to 51 at the moment. Wow. Yeah, I know. So let's load that one in and I'll show you what Train Shunter Mod does. Okay, we're back. Let's have a look at that train then, shall we? Manage the vehicle. It's still not coming out yet. Good. Okay. What I want to do is to edit the vehicle. And I want to put you, by holding the shift key, the shift key down, I can move it to the back of the train. And then if I go all the way along to the back of the train, we can see it's pointing that way. And I'm going to swap, I'm going to flip. No, I'm not going to remove, I'm going to shift to flip. And then shift to move it to the other end of the train. So now what I've done is I've swapped the position of the engine and the brake van, and technically, hopefully, reverse the brake van so that if we come down and have a little look at this guy, here we are. Right, so we should be coming out brake van and man first. I'm not sure where the man is. Did I get that wrong? No, I didn't. Okay, so the guard should be there. Right, he's going to come out. My God, this is slow though. But never mind. It's facing the right way that I want to. Now that I've got him facing the right way, he's going to be pushing up the hill to the stone and pulling down the hill from the loco end to the Conmat plant, which means I am going to just say push-pull, please, for that particular train. So that's what he's going to be doing. Why are you cruising through there and not stopping? You should have, excuse me? I don't know what you're doing, buddy, but you should have dropped your bloody Conmat off. What happened? Okay, well, we'll get this sorted. Stupid thing. It should have dropped it off up here. Speed it up. Come on. Okay, hopefully this one's going to stop here. Good. Now, the other thing I wanted to show you as well, these guys, when they come out and join back up with the main line, come past the station on this track. This track does nothing except bypass the station, so it's a goods, it's a bypass, whether it's a goods train or whatever. Anything can use it, I think. Yes, because there's a adjoining track there. Good. Okay, where were you? I'm on this fella. Right, go back to slow. We can keep an eye on him, but what I need to do now is to, oh gosh, connect this to, yeah, right, manage line, Ashwick Quarry. After Ashwick Quarry, come down here. You're going to lose it. You're going to lose everything that's on that line. I know it. As soon as you do that. Yep, look at that. Well, that makes it easier to now match the line rate, doesn't it? So I don't know how many horses and carts I've got to get rid of, but I'd say more than half of them. Okay, that's 65 vehicles selected, so we'll get rid of that. And what's that do to our line rate? 523. Still got to get rid of more, Stephen. Okie dokie. I'll get rid of more. 59 vehicles there, about 10 each, so slightly less than 10 each. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If I get rid of 11 and sell those. What did you do? I think I just bought. Sell. Well done. Yeah, I know. I'm not very clever. That's going to take it back to 50. Let's sell those. 443. So I still need to get that down to 400. That will do. Right, so those guys are now going to go there, down here. So they're going to come from there, manage line, Ashwick Quarry, both platforms. Right, manage line, wait till full at Ashwick Quarry. Good. Hopefully I haven't jiggered this up. Hit the go button and see what happens. It still says 400. I really don't want that to drop. If that drops, I'm in trouble. And all of these guys have got to come back up the path. Okay, where's your train? That would be this fellow, I'm expecting. Nope, not that fellow. It would be this guy. Righto, let's have a little look at him. Yeah, see, he's going backwards. Hopefully the guard is not there. Oh well, should be. I don't know what happened to him. And hopefully there'll be some stone. What's the line rate, please? 208. Oh, that's convenient. So that if you double that, we'll be fine. Oh, alright. Manage vehicle. Yep. Edit that. Get rid of one of those. Modify. 199. And now what? You know what? Mass clone. Yep. Sorry. Where are you, buddy? You coming out backwards like you should be? Lovely. Alright, that's nice. Cool. Here we go. On the stoned branch line. Oh, well, not quite yet. We're still on the brickworks, but take off. Thank you. There we go. We come in with the brake van in sight. We'll head most of the way around this brickworks loop. Faster, please. Come on, we haven't got all day. Hopefully there's nothing too bumpy through here now. Let's have a little look. Nope, that's fine. Level crossing's almost fine. And we'll come into the track that now needs ballasting and over to that side. Good. Alright. Oh, well, you could smooth out that bit of rail on the level crossing there, Stephen. Probably. But here we go. Lovely countryside. Alright. Yeah, wonky. I know. Don't panic. Right, and there we go. We're coming into our stone platform. Is there stone waiting? You betcha. Good. There's the signal to allow us onto the platform. And we're going to sit here and wait. Oh my gosh. Hopefully all of these trucks and everything else are going to work here. Why are they coming up here to turn around? I thought there was a join here. Whatever. Alright. How's it doing? Is it still at 400? There's lots and lots of stone there. And it's still at 400. And the line rate is 472. Wow. Okay, well, we'll get rid of this backlog. And then I'll even the line rate out so it's not... Oh, look, you could probably even it out now, buddy. Otherwise, the whole lot's going to be far too messy. Alright, okay. Empty horse, that's you. Goodbye. Get rid of every other empty horse for a little bit. Each one's worth, what, 10, is it? Basically. We could get rid of a couple of these, because they're not even part of the journey yet, are they? $420, that'll do. We've still got a backlog. Nice. How's this going? Almost full. Beaut. Let's go back to it. Line rate on that. Close enough to 400. Good. Now what this guy's going to do is head off very, very soon from the other end this time. You see, it didn't flip around. He's doing a push-pull. This time it's the pull. Presume the loco's got the brake for the downhill section. Do we have a bloke in the other end yet? Do we have a brakeman? Where's it gone? Oh, jeez, I don't know. You're all over the place, sport. We'll pause it. Yeah, funny. We have a brakeman now that he's going in the right direction. Fair enough. Is that other train here yet? No. Nowhere in sight. Okay. Look, it'll be alright. Let's go a bit faster. He should be somewhere. Would you like to find out where? He's on the main line still. He's just about to come up here. Just got to wait for that brick train to get out of the way. Good. So here we go, coming in to drop off all of that stone. 84 stone. Thanks. Good. Now let's have a little look at the brickworks and see. We didn't drop anything. I thought we might have dropped a level, but we got back just in time, I think. Thank God for that. Right, he's going to do his thing. That's nice. That's very nice. So, as you can see, the train shunter mod is ideal for trains just going backwards and forwards over a short little branch line like that. And we've reduced the number of horses and carts by 80. Right, okay. How will the finances on this line look after a bit? Too early to tell. It was making money, but there were an awful lot of horses and carts. So anyway, that's all good. That's working nicely. You're coming in, thank you. And you're coming in. Ooh, he's not that far behind. Look, there's plenty here. He will fill up pretty much straight away. Look, see? And he's off already. Good. So you clever little rail entrepreneur have successfully established a stone train to get the stone from the quarry. Unfortunately, you can't do it from up here because it's too high. See, we're up around, where are we, 99 metres. That extra 40 metres would make it impossible for that train to get up here. I can't see it happening, not being at all efficient. Now, what's happened? Since the last episode, we are now on the final map. The final GWR map. I finished map testing and moved things around. We've got the iron ore and the oil spread out. It was all bunched up around here before. It's now spread out in better places across the map. I have filled in some of the gaps through here. I don't know what I added. I added something through here. I can't remember what, but yeah, moved things around quite a fair bit. We've got an extra coal mine over here now to represent all the iron ore that comes from a place down here called Coleridge, I think, in the real world, across Iron Bridge. Yeah, can't remember the names. Yeah, it's starting to look pretty damn good. The only thing I'm concerned about still is whether or not the AI is going to do stuff along here. I had to rebuild all of this. Rebuild the canal, obviously. I have a concern that the AI has already tried to build something right here. I forgot to delete that. But, oh, I tell you what, that looks absolutely disgusting. It does, doesn't it? I might have to load that collision tile to prevent that happening, because that looks terrible. Let's just get rid of that. That looks so much better. Yeah, you know, you might have to use either the collision tile technique or Mad Hatter's by the plot technique to lock this down so that it doesn't do that sort of nonsense. But never mind, it's getting there, and the map is off and running. I think what I've got to do next is continue this railway line from Hagley. Oh, get off bulldozer quickly before you do something you don't want to. Yeah, I've got to bring the railway line from Hagley into the centre of the map. We've got 11 people still waiting there, and there we have 18. So we have 2 full trains almost, 91 out of 96 on the line. That's pretty cool. Yeah, it's fun. It's certainly been fun. Why are you little puffing like that? Oh, because you're on full. Sorry. If I go back to normal speed, it will look like oh, that's disgusting. How can you encourage people on your train when you're doing it like that? Fair enough. Should be looking after it, but it's only early days, matey. It's only early days. Got all these things we've got to actually catch up on, but lost it again. I know, I do. I keep doing that, don't I? I wonder how many canal boats are under here this time. Can we get a shot? Yeah, no. All right, don't then. Well, that train's going to look a lot better when you see it next time. I promise. I promise. I really do. And I thought I'd done all the ballasting that I needed to do. Damn it. Missed a bit. Yeah, well, that happens. What do we got here? Another brick train? Yes, an empty brick train. Good. So this is all starting to come along really, really nicely. The whole scenario, diorama, whatever you want to call it, it's looking pretty good. Ooh, what's that? Oh, that's something I meant to tell you about too. We were looking a little while ago at Mad Hatter's Coachworks, the early version of the depot, and you may or may not remember there was a placeholder cube here, which had been there for 5 years, apparently. And Mad Hatter looked at one of my episodes and he said, oh, damn, I can't believe that wasn't fixed back in 2020. So guess what? It is now. So that's great to know. Thanks, Mad Hatter. I love your attention to detail. No, look, don't. I'm only kidding. What matters is that it got fixed. That's all that matters. Yep. It's come up a bit, come back a bit. And here's our station. Doesn't it look good with all these early cargo sheds and everything on the right-hand side? And the industry starting to appear inside the railway yard. Plus the engine maintenance shed and the roundhouse and everything. I think it looks absolutely brilliant, except for that filthy, rotten coach. Those coaches, they're terrible. Ah, well, it'll all work out nicely. Right, what's next? Extending this railway line. We've got to get moving into town, I think, and find out where this joint railway from the L and NW and the GW actually goes. So that's the London and North Western and the Great Western. It's a joint line, this one, is it? Yep. Joint line up to the next major town is up that way, is Wellington, in real life. Okay, why didn't you use real life names? I don't know. The moment you put a real life name on something, people say, oh, that's the north of England, or that's the south of England, or that's Wales, or whatever. This is meant to represent, this map is meant to represent GWR country. And I know, yes, it's the area around Shrewsbury, which is sort of at the upper northern limit, northwestern limit of GWR country, but it's still GWR. And all the town names, I just plucked them from the map, from Google Maps, to say these were towns within the GWR territory. So there we go. Doing good at 5 frames a second here. Yeah, well, I'm going to have to get off the Mac, aren't I? Because that is a problem. True. Right. So there we go. heading back out at a grand 9 frames a second. That yard's going to look really good by the time I whack a few more empty and or full carriages, rolling stock wagons in there. Yep, and hopefully this train's going to look a lot better too by the time it maintains itself. Is it getting any cleaner? Bloody well want to be, but I'll let it run for a bit between episodes so that... Oops. What do we got here? Another brick train. Lovely. Alright. Well, we need to move some of this stuff over towards the main township at Water and Coombe and Coombe Doon and whatever it was called. Can't remember the names. Remind yourself then, buddy. See, okay, we need to extend this line from Hagley along here into Rumpel, Water, Nightwick and Coombe Doon. And I'm trying to decide whether, well, this was originally just the GWR line. This one down here is another joint line with the LNNW, and this one is, and that one is also joint lines. This one's the Severn Valley Railway. So much more to do with rail. The question is, which one do I build first? I think we should follow this one around and over and into the station here and then on here up there. Right, okay. That's probably what we'll do then. I don't know. The plan could be totally different by next time, so who knows. Have you done anything with the... Have you really... Did you just clean the wrong one? Did you clean both of them? I only cleaned one of them. Right, that's train 3. Where's train 2? Maybe it's looking cleaner. No. Really? Yeah. To be honest with you, I don't think you did anything with these. Right, okay, let's try again. Hi. Yes. Oh. Has one got to click the apply button? That would make a difference, wouldn't it, Stephen? Too much. Too much happening here for this brain to cope with. Does not look good, though. Love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. And that's it for me. Hooroo! And it's goodbye from them. And we'll see you all next time. Bye.